Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we're making marinated tofu feta.
Grab a plate, 'cause it's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Complement. As healthy as it is, did you know there are a handful of missing or hard-to-get nutrients from a plant-based diet? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why I take Complement Plus every day. Complement Plus contains the 8 critical nutrients in dosages optimized specifically for plant-based eaters. Plus, they're completely transparent about ingredient sourcing and third-party testing, publishing the results directly on their website. As a special discount for our viewers, just use the code WFPB15 at checkout to save 15% off of your order.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today we have a super quick but very underrated recipe because it's so incredibly delicious and it's a great additive to salads or as a side. We're making marinated feta. Okay, so the star of the show is tofu. That's what's going to replace the cheese, you know, the feta part. And this is one of my favorites. I just love this tofu. It's a high protein tofu by Wildwood, and it's extra firm, but it's like another layer of extra firm. That's what I like, but it will also work to use just like an extra firm tofu, just as long as you drain it really well. But I would try to find this extra firm stuff. It's really, really good. All right, so if you want a printable recipe, it will be in a link in the details below. So we're gonna get started with the marinade first. So I have a 1/3 cup of white wine vinegar, tablespoon of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of Bragg's liquid aminos, or you could use a low sodium soy sauce, or if you're using salt, use a little bit of salt. It's just for that salty flavor. A teaspoon of onion powder. And then in here I have all of my herbs. It's a teaspoon of basil, a teaspoon of oregano, and 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. And this is completely optional what spices you want to use. This is kind of an Italian flavored version one. So if you want to use that, or you could go with rosemary, or I don't know, whatever flavors you like. It's just, you just need about 2 teaspoons of herbs. Then we have some nutritional yeast. And then some white miso paste. This is 1 tablespoon of white miso paste. And that just gives it a really nice, rich flavor. And then 1/3 cup of water. And then I'm gonna add a little cracked pepper, because if you know me, you know I like cracked pepper on just about everything. Okay, now you're gonna need a whisk to whisk that together, because you wanna break up that miso paste until it's completely dissolved into your mixture. Looks pretty good. I think I got all the chunks out of there. Okay. And we're going to set this to the side here. Now we're going to cut our tofu. So this is also your preference. So I like my squares to be kind of medium size. So I take the tofu like this, and I make 2 cuts this way. And then I turn it over like that. And then I do 3 cuts this way. And then I go from the end, and I just cut them so that they end up being sort of square. And that gives you a nice little bite-sized piece. Because if you get them too big, the marinade doesn't really get into the center. But too small, and they'll just break apart, and they won't be these nice little squares. But that's completely up to you. So now you need a container, an airtight container, one that has a really nice tight lid, because you're going to be kind of shaking it, and turning it over. So you want it to be able to seal completely. So just pop our tofu in there. And then we just pour our marinade over the top. Put the lid on and shake it up. This way, this way, this way. So now you're gonna stick this in the refrigerator. You can eat it just like this, but it's nice to let it sit in the refrigerator for at least a couple hours to get those juices all soaking into the tofu. I prefer to leave it overnight or even for a couple of days. So you put it in the refrigerator, and then after a few hours you want to get it out because all that liquid's going to, see it stays in the bottom, so it's not going to get to your top pieces. So you just kind of shake it around a bit so it gets more incorporated and stick it back in the refrigerator. So into the fridge we go. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share with you some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our new Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting members. By becoming a supporting member, you gain access to great member perks like monthly product giveaways, free downloads of our ebooks, and access to our in-depth courses, including our 28 Days Plant-Based Made Easy course, where we offer a step-by-step guide to making the switch to a fully plant-based diet. We create this show for the hundreds of thousands of viewers just like you who tune in each month from all over the world to make it easy for everyone to live a plant-based lifestyle. So if you love our content, please join us on our mission and become a supporting member today by following the link in the description. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, so it's been a few hours, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. Come in for a look. Oh, wow. So you take that lid off and all those aromas come out. So now all that's left is to take a taste. Let's go. All right, my favorite part is to taste this stuff. And I know this is probably not how you would normally eat it. You would eat it with a salad or as a side with a meal or something, but I like to snack on them just like this because I know they're amazing. The vinegar and lemon juice is just so punchy. And then you taste all of the herbs together. Oh, yum. Be sure to give this a try, guys. Give the show a like, and I'll see you next week for another great recipe.